SafePal is one of the best useless crypto tokens on this planet. There are many question marks, but there are also
many things to love.
This video is not about the hardware wallet. This video is about the SFP token. So we are going to talk about circulating supply, holder distribution, an interesting event that moved more than 100 million worth of the token. An event I haven't seen anybody else talking about. Who's owning the token? Where is SFP being traded and why? What about the staking program of SFP and potential inflation? Because we all know the higher the token inflation, the more the number of holders need to grow. Because only when demand outgrows supply, then the price can rise. Is the project open source? Is there enough developer activity? What about the founder and the team? Can we get anything from that information? We're also discussing socials, and we are looking at factors that might fuel the recent rally. And of course, this wouldn't be a Bitcoin strategy channel video if we weren't looking at the relative valuation of SFP to Bitcoin, the long-term performance. So let's stop with all the questions and look for actual answers. Does it make sense to buy SFP? The first thing I always want to know when looking at a crypto project is its supply. How much supply is there out there, and is it growing, and who's holding the supply? What's going on with the supply? Because that's the first question. It's always supply versus demand that in the end determines the price. And so let's look at this. Doing that supply analysis for SafePal wasn't as easy as I expected. There are conflicting numbers, and the final number I got to was not posted anywhere. The simple answer would simply be here, right? On CoinMarketCap, the circulating supply, 420 million. It's the same number that's being posted on CoinGecko. But actually, according to Messari.io, the circulating supply is already at the maximum at 500 million. So we had a recent push one day before my birthday. On the 28th of August, the circulating supply of SFP moved to the maximum cap of 500 million. But I don't stop there, right? I always look at the blockchain. I want to see those numbers. And so after diving into all of those technical details, I found something very delightful. And I was really surprised I couldn't find anything about this online. Look at this holder distribution pie of SFP, of the SafePal token. What is this blue thing here? This is a dead address. 200 million tokens, or 40% of the supply, has been burned. In other words, the circulating supply isn't 500 million according to Messari.io. I think it's actually 300 million only. Now, when did this burn happen? It happened less than 2 months ago, on the 17th of July at 8 o'clock and 6 minutes. This looks like a manual transaction. Isn't that fascinating, right? This is hyper bullish news for the token, and I don't see anybody talking about this. Now, I'm genuinely interested what's behind all of this. If you know why 40% of the circulating supply of the SafePal token got burned, please comment this down below. I couldn't find this in the news or anywhere else, but maybe you have more information, so feel free to share this with us. Now, there are a few aspects that make this token very unique. Look, for example, over here at this holder graph, 159,000 holders of the token. That's a lot for an altcoin of this size. I've got the impression that this might be due to airdrops. Maybe when you buy the hardware wallet, you get some free SFP tokens as well. And this is how the number of holders inflates. Some people might never sell this off, but I'm not sure if that's actually the case. But still, the number of holders on chain is very high. And it seems to be growing quite steadily, quite linearly. Still, it's important to find out where those 40% burned tokens are coming from. And we might be getting an answer from the white paper. According to the white paper, 20% went to the foundation, 20% went to the team. Maybe those are the tokens that had been burned. I don't think there's any community airdrops being burned here, right? This is maybe where all the holders are coming from. I don't think anything from the marketing department got burned, because in the end, marketing dollars are super useful to sell the wallet, right? To sell the hardware wallet. And so really, this is the only explanation I have. For whatever reason, the team and the foundation gave up on their tokens. But here's why I've got somewhat of an
iffy feeling
with SafePal's price action. That's the centralization around Binance. The SFP token can only be bought and sold on the Binance Smart Chain. And that's because Binance was an early investor into SafePal. And this marriage continues to this date. A lot of the trading volume happens on Binance. To be more exact, when you add up all the Binance subsidiaries, more than 50% happens on Binance. And of course, when Binance holds a lot of tokens and has a lot of influence on the token price, there are also perpetual futures issued on that token. And so there's a lot of volatility in the price, right? It can shoot up and down very quickly, probably due to leverage from the derivatives listed on Binance. But let's take a step back and look at utility. Let's go back to the fundamentals. What can you use the SFP token actually for? But before we do this, if you so far find this useful, feel free to subscribe because I publish videos regularly. The white paper lists a lot of utility functions for SFP. But to be entirely frank, I'm not convinced by any of those utility functions over here. It's all then summed up in marketing speak. SFP will be the core element knit into every SafePal experience. Feel free to halt the video and read this by yourself. This is utility page number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. It mainly comes down to SFP being a governance token, but you can't just hold the token and vote. Apparently you have to pay with the token in order to vote. You can also buy advertising within the SafePal app, apparently. And you do get a few discounts here and there for SafePal products, but that's about it. As with pretty much any useless tokens, there's always a staking program, and SFP has one as well. We see on the Binance page that currently you can stake SFP and get roughly 2.2% annual reward on SFP, relatively low. Now I can't say for sure where this SFP is coming from because it's not an inflationary token, right? We are now at those 300 million fixed supply. My best guess is that this is coming from earnings that Binance is making using the financing of the futures. Binance makes a lot of money with those futures trading products, and some of that profit might be going to the stakers. That's my guess. Next important question. Is SafePal open source? Because only if a hardware wallet is open source, we can guarantee that there's no backdoor built into it. The answer here is unfortunately no, it's not open source. There are GitHub repositories with little activity, but any kind of code commit is just related to the documentation, so there are occasional updates of the documentation. What about the team? Is there maybe something specifically interesting around the team? Could they be able to pull something off that other people can't? Is there something we have to pay attention to? I think probably not. There's 37 employees on LinkedIn, a very small company with not necessarily hyper impressive profiles. There's also nothing massively impressive around the social media presence. It's simply just official announcements here in Telegram. Same is copy pasted into Twitter. And there is some unique content on Medium, but also nothing really that stands out. So really, what's fueling this recent rally? Is there some news around SafePal that could justify the recent price appreciation? There is news, but I don't think it justifies the price pump. The news is around a cooperation with the Clayton blockchain. There is now a limited edition SafePal wallet for Clayton, a co-branded wallet that has made some news. But have you looked at the total value locked development of the Clayton blockchain? It's a complete disaster. It's a complete wasteland. It went from 1.3 billion to currently roughly 100 million. And the trend continues to be rather in the red, pretty much for any of those decentralized applications. So the reason for the price appreciation is probably manipulation by Binance. They might be holding a lot of tokens that are not disclosed in the white paper. And it might just be simple, plain technical analysis. Relative valuation of SFP to Bitcoin and to Ethereum, and of course to BNB, the native blockchain where the SFP token is housed. This is SFP relative to Ethereum, might be hitting somewhat of a resistance, but does have a floor. The chart's not that different relative to Bitcoin. It doesn't decline as quickly, but still, the price moves in waves. And this is probably the most important relative valuation chart, SFP to BNB. Here, the floor is really clear. And it's hard to say where this rally stops. One potential approach could be to go long on SFP and put in a trailing stop loss. So as the price moves up, you also adjust your stop loss. So whenever the price crashes, you exit very quickly. That would be the idea. I don't see a lot of utility in SFP, but I also don't see a lot of token inflation. The price dynamics are completely in the hands of Binance. So be careful. If you're betting on falling prices of SFP, you might get short squeezed. If enough people bet on falling prices, then it's profitable for Binance to push up the price temporarily. Betting on rising prices every now and then, though, might make sense. But again, be careful and set your stop losses accordingly. If you're looking for a community of like-minded traders, feel free to check out our Telegram group. Bitcoin Strategy Channel, you can simply search for this within the Telegram app, or you can also click the link down below. Looking very much forward to chatting with you.